Hi everyone, and welcome to another video from despairrepair.com. In this video we'll show you what to do in case of a car accident. To be honest, I've had an accident a couple of days ago with my beloved Skoda. Luckily it wasn't a big accident. I'll show you what happened. This gave me the idea to make a video and perhaps help you if, God forbid, the same thing happens to you. So stay tuned.
despairrepair.com. Be sure to visit us at our website despairrepair.com, where you can find more useful car and driving tips. Now, this is the damage. As you can see, nothing serious. It's just essentially a very big scratch. So this can be considered as a minor accident.
I would just like to say before we begin, as a very big disclaimer, that this video isn't any kind of professional help. After a car accident, there are institutions and people who deal with these kinds of situations. This is just helpful advice from one driver to another. The first, most important, and the hardest tip to implement after a car accident is to stay calm. Now, this is very hard since the first thing that kicks in right after the accident is panic, then that produces fear, and that then only causes problems, trust me. If you can, especially if it's a minor accident like I had, try to stay calm and assess the situation. Just get out of the car, and see if everybody is okay and see what the damage is. And by making a good assessment of the situation, you're opening a door for a further quality solution of the accident. The second tip, which is equally important as the first one, is, if possible, avoid any kind of anger and especially aggression. Fear and panic naturally cause anger, okay? You'll see lots of people, jumping out of the car frantically, yelling, "What did you do?" and so on and so forth. All that this causes is problems, trust me. Yes, there is a big emotional reaction, perhaps, but always remember that the driver in the other car is going probably through the same thing. The main problem when two angry people are going through the accident situation is aggression. A couple of times I've seen people even go into a fist fight over a car accident, and it does not end well, okay? Always remember that any kind of aggression in this situation is wrong. It will not help you. It will only dramatically worsen the situation, okay? So avoid anger and avoid any kind of aggression, even if the other driver is aggressive and has an aggressive stance towards you. Distance yourself somehow. Lock yourself in the car if you have to. Of course, defend yourself if you really have to, but that is rare. Make a distance and wait for the police to come. Now, hopefully everything has settled down. The accident has happened. Hopefully the other driver has some goodwill. There's no anger, aggression, and everything else. And the next thing you should do is call the police. Now, in almost every country I know, the law enforcement has an obligation to come to the accident site and do all of the things legally necessary to sort of finish the whole thing. Do not avoid doing this. Always call the police because of your legal obligations and because of your future insurance reports and repairs for the car. One more good thing about calling the police is, if the other driver is aggressive and has an aggressive stance, calling the police will certainly lower that aggression. And if you can solve the problem of the aggressive driver, the police surely will. Now that the police have finished their work, all that is left for you is to leave the accident site, so to say, you and the other driver that was in the accident. If the cars can be driven, that's great. If not, you'll have to call a tow service and tow the cars for repair. Now, at this point, I would like to share one more tip that I found useful, since I've had a fair share of accidents, and that is to try and part with the driver with goodwill. Now, this is not possible, of course, if the other driver was aggressive, had an aggressive stance and you weren't able to communicate with him or her, and that's that. In that case, just leave and that's it. But you know, if it was all a bad coincidence, for instance, then saying a few good words and parting in, as mentioned, a goodwill immensely helps. Why am I saying this? Well, lots of us, when having an accident, are aggressive. We tend to say lots of things, even do lots of things which we will regret later, okay? You never know who's on the other side, what kind of problems the other driver has, and so on. So when you're parting with someone, if possible, say a couple of good words. This is all a usual life situation, so to say, and you know, that's that. Besides this will also help if you need any more information regarding your insurance, repairs, legal situations, or everything else. For the last tip that I can offer you, which is a bit unusual, that is to do something nice for yourself after the accident has passed and everything is finished. Now, why am I saying this? Lots of drivers, after the accident has happened, are shook up by the whole situation or have a sense of guilt and start asking themselves questions like, why did this happen to me? Could I have done better, reacted better? Why did I leave the house, and other questions. All that this does to you is ruin your health, nothing else, especially if you go on a guilt trip for a prolonged period of time. So to avoid this, especially if the accident had a good outcome, go and do something nice for yourself and which makes you happy. Go have a nice dinner, go watch a good movie, spend time with your family, and preferably do something that isn't related to the car, if possible. All of this is a great remedy for sort of forgetting everything and letting the whole thing pass much easier. So, dear viewers, that's it. That's all the tips I can give you from experience that will, I think, help you after you, God forbid, have a car accident. Now, all of these tips, number one is to stay calm and avoid any kind of anger and aggression. This is a big helper to solve the whole situation. Trust me, if you implement them, you won't be sorry later. On the contrary. Also, there's one saying in my country which is in big bolded letters. Everything is fine if everyone walks away in good health from the accident site. Okay, so if there's only material damage, however you may be connected to your car, okay, if you have an emotional connection to your car, however big the damage is, whatever the situation is, however hard this may be to believe after the accident, if you and your passengers are okay, if the other driver and their passengers are okay, then the whole situation is just fine, trust me. So everything is good when everybody is safe and sound. So that's it for this time. Please like and subscribe if you find the time. It's a huge help for what we're doing. Thank you for watching and thank you for your time.